Good morning. Welcome to March 18th, Tuesday. We're going to take some concepts that we've talked about before and combine them again in a unique way. So we're talking about Maslow's competence hierarchy and the Dreyfus Skill Acquisition model. And we're going to talk about how both of those are interrelated in leadership development. Because leadership isn't just about authority. It's a skill or a craft that develops over time. So we're going to talk about the basic foundation of both. We've explored this in previous episodes, but we will just touch on this again. And then we'll talk about the overlap and then key takeaways. First up, the foundation, understanding both models here. So first up is Maslow's competence hierarchy that describes the awareness and unconscious skill development. An important piece here is staying curious, keeping your confidence in check, especially at the beginning, realizing what you don't know. So first, you don't realize it. Unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. Next up the chain is conscious incompetence. You recognize gaps but struggle to improve. Number 3 is conscious competence. Moving up, you can lead effectively, but you need to think through it. Next is unconscious competence, where you're starting to feel just intuitive about your leadership skills. And then the final one, added later, was reflective competence. This is where you've reached mastery and you are mentoring, teaching other people. The Dreyfus Skill Acquisition model explains how we progress through the different skill levels. So this one has 5 distinct levels. First is novice. Rules and checklists define how you lead. The advanced beginner. You start to recognize patterns, but still rely on certain rules and checklists and guidance. Next up is competent. You make decisions, but leadership feels effortful. Next is proficient. You're starting to see leadership beyond the basic rules. And finally, the expert. You're fluid. You can anticipate and adapt. And again, now is when mentoring takes place. Hopefully in the explanation, you saw a little bit about how these overlap. We're going to talk about it in more detail here. Stage 1. On one side, we have unconscious incompetence. The other side, we have the novice. You may call this the blissfully unaware leader. So this might be you. You may be a new manager or new to leadership. You read the latest leadership book, but you struggle to apply what's there. You don't realize where your blind spots are. You're still relying on strict rules and guidelines. You lack situational awareness. So maybe you are micromanaging because you believe that a leader has to control the situation. So you don't know what you don't know. So keep your mind open, keep learning. And we'll move into stage 2, conscious incompetence. This is the struggling leader. You're now starting to ask for feedback actively. You want people to provide you with information about where your gaps exist. You're starting to recognize some patterns, but your execution's inconsistent. So you might understand that delegation is important, but you're not sure where to apply it. You're starting to get a little frustrated, and you're also now starting to ramp up the growth rate for yourself. Next, we have conscious competence. Maybe call this the intentional leader. You're confident running a team, maybe still using some structured frameworks. You're applying your skills effectively, but it is effortful. You've developed your own decision-making strategies, and you're balancing authority with collaboration. Next up, the unconscious competence, proficient, adaptive. You may say above average. You're handling crisis with ease, making real-time decisions. Leadership now feels natural for you. Situations are understood and responses are more nuanced. You're navigating conflict. You're starting to now feel like a leader. You might even call yourself a leader and say that you have some leadership skills. You're able to recognize it and still be aware of where you might have some growth to do. Finally, the reflective competence, the mentor leader. This is where you're coaching others. Your own leadership is fluid and adaptable and instinctive, and you're able to start to manage other people's leadership growth. You're shaping the future of leadership in others. All right, what did we take away from this? Well, leadership is a journey, not a title. It's going to be important to try to embrace each stage. Be really clear with yourself and honest with yourself about where you're at. Embrace the struggles and realize that mastery isn't about you doing better, but you helping others to do better. So where are you? Who are you bringing with you? If you've been honest with yourself, you recognize where you're at. Do you have a mentor? Do you have a plan of how you want to progress? Do you have a way to continue to assess yourself? All right, good luck. As always, keep questioning, creating, and inspiring. We'll see you tomorrow.